Hello everyone, it's Leanna. Welcome back to DIY Beauty on Purpose. Today I bring you another transformation of a beautiful dresser. This dresser was given to me by a friend who was getting rid of it and asked if I wanted it, so I said of course yes. It needs a lot of work as you can tell, but I am so excited to get started working on it. Alright guys, so the first thing I got to do is remove these stickers, and while I remove them I want to tell you that if you're not following me on Instagram and Facebook, that I do have those pages linked down below, so go ahead and visit them after you're done watching the video. Alright, so I realized that a lot of the stickers were actually covering carvings and scratches, so after I removed them and I removed anything that was sticky, I am now using wood filler to fill in any of the heavier or deeper scratches and carvings. Once I'm done filling them, then I'm going to let it dry for about an hour, hour and a half, and while I dried them, I removed the handles. I contemplated leaving the handles. Sometimes I like to paint over them, but they had a really beautiful natural patina, and I just thought I would rather just use them as is, so I did remove them while the wood filler was drying. So as I mentioned, I let it fully dry, and then now I'm sanding with a 120 grit sandpaper. I could have used a 220, but 120 is what I had laying around, so I just grabbed that one. I am just making sure that I am not scratching too deep where it's just, the stain. So I want to make sure that it doesn't scratch up. After everything was sanded and smoothed, I am now going to clean everything. I like using crud cutter, but you can use anything really. Crud cutter I just like because it just removes a lot of the grime and dirt that it has been, through the years on some of these pieces. And just make sure that whatever you use to remove any dirt, that you remove the entire detergent. So, no residue left from the soap or whatever you're using to clean. Alright, so now that everything is clean and prepped, I am now going to start painting. I'm using Jolie Paint. This paint was sent to me by Jolie Paint several weeks ago. I already used it for a previous project where I redid a desk, and it turned out beautiful. It's a beautiful quality paint. It goes on so smoothly. The color that I am using is Gesso White. It'll be linked down below. And I just love it. It reminds me of melted ice cream. It has that velvety off-white look, and that's the look that I wanted for this dresser. Is like a vintage white. So I'm applying a first coat, and normally I do prime with a stain blocking primer, and I should have, and I didn't. I have no idea why. I just grabbed the paint and started painting, and after I was halfway there or halfway done with the first coat, I was like, I never primed. I should have primed because this dresser was actually pretty scratched up in some areas, and when you have bare wood like that, you will likely get some bleed through, and I did. So anyway, so while I'm giving the first coat, I want to tell you about my website, DIYbeautyonpurpose.com. It's a very, very new blog that I just recently started. I am only posting once a month there, usually the first Monday of every month. And I just like to post different lists, different things, my favorite things, and just kind of seeing where this goes. But I'd love for you to join me there as well. Okay, so now I am given a second coat, And as you can tell, it's just a beautiful coverage. It goes on very, very smoothly. I only would have had to done 2 coats if it wasn't that I got that bleed through. So what I did was I finished the second coat. Once it dried, I noticed that where there were some scratches, I did get some like reddish bleed through. So I always have on hand some shellac. You can buy it in a spray form or a tiny can or a big can. A tiny can for me has lasted me for a long time. And basically I just either use a sponge brush or a junky little brush that I'm going to throw away after because it is oil based. And I just brush it where I get that bleed through, let it dry, and then paint again. And it would be fine. So that's right there. You see that? That's where I brush the shellac. So it's going to look yellowish, kind of darker. So that's why I decided to do a third coat. But the third coat was kind of sporadic. It was where it needed it. And that kind of it. But once you seal it with the shellac where it's bleeding through, it should not come back through. Now, I could have avoided possibly by priming it with a stain blocking primer. But who knows? Maybe I still would have gotten some bleed through because sometimes it does come through. But anyways, moving on to distressing, I am using my electric sander and a 120 grit sandpaper. I could have done it by hand. I normally prefer doing it with the electric sander because it just kind of distresses a little heavier and easier and of course faster. And I do like that. But on this one, I want to do like a light to medium distress. So I am focusing on the edges and the details and very, very little on the flat surfaces. But that's about it. After I distress is pretty much. Alright, so now I am dusting all the dust from the sanding. I have a paintbrush. This is a very large paintbrush. It's a synthetic brush that I just have specifically for dusting. So whenever I'm sanding either just regular wood or sanding paint, I have the brush so I can dust it really, really well. And that way I'm not using rags that may be dirty or other brushes that I may use for paint. So now I am going to seal everything using a sponge applicator. This sponge applicator or sponge I have linked also in my Amazon store, which is linked down below. This is a piece of it though. They come in like this round circular pieces of sponge, and that was just way too big for me and it was almost hard to kind of handle, so I just cut a piece off of it and it works perfectly. The sealer that I am using is by Verathane and it's a polyurethane and it's in the Crystal Clear in a satin finish. You can do glossy, you can do matte. I prefer satin because it leaves like a nice sheen but not too glossy. And then after I let that dry, I did 2 coats on the entire dresser and I did 4 on the top of the dresser. I am now going to put back the beautiful handles. Again, it has that beautiful natural patina. I did scrub them and wash them to remove the grime that they had. And then after that, I'll be all done. Oh no, I forgot. I'm not done. I did decide to line the drawers with some contact paper from the Dollar Tree. I had this on hand, and although the drawers inside, 3 of them were beautiful, one of them had like this really black stain. And it was so disappointing because the drawers itself were very beautiful. So I wasn't going to just line one and not the other. So I ended up just lining all 4 of them. And then that's it, I promise. So here's what it looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. This dresser is a stunner. It is beautiful. I think it just now has beautiful life. And actually sold right away, so it's going to a wonderful home. It has that vintage distressed look, and I really, really am happy the way it turned out. All right, guys, so this is it for today. As always, I am so happy and so blessed that you guys stop by, watch my videos. I hope this inspires you that sometimes things don't need to be thrown away. They just need to be given new life. If you are new and you are visiting, thank you for stopping by. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, I ask that you consider doing so and join our YouTube family. And that's it. I hope you have a blessed day, guys. Bye.